This
Start
conference will now be recorded.
on Ireland, the country roads of Ireland. We welcome all of you here. Travel, just in case any of you are not familiar, Travel Central and Insight Vacations are partners on a vacation that we're going to be hosting in May of 2023. And we're going to share some of the day by day, as well as talk a little bit about Insight Vacations, who they are, because some of y'all might not be familiar with what they offer and with the kind of services. But before I do that, let me just welcome you to Travel Central. We have been in business since 1988. We are a team of travel advisors whose only goal is to make sure that your vacation is seamless and stress-free from the very moment you start planning with us to all the way to your return home. We are your advocate. I think it's a great thing that we actually go out and look for services for you. We also make sure that we answer all of your questions. And when there are challenges in travel, sometimes there's challenges, we actually advocate and try to get the best service back for you. And most important, we also get enhanced services. For example, if you decide to go on this Ireland tour and you book by November 4th, which is the end of the week, we actually have a free Irish pub experiences that will be included. With that and many other things like onboard credits and upgrades and things like that are available to us. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our wonderful partner, Insight Vacations. We have Mandy who's on with us. She's going to bring us through not just about Insight, starting with that, but then really through the day by day of this wonderful Country Roads of Ireland vacation that's available. So thank you, Mandy, for joining us. And I'm going to go off if you have any. Oh, one more thing. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat box. We'll answer all questions at the end and be happy to work with you on that. So thank you.
Thank you, Melinda. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining us this afternoon. My name is Mandy Wilson, and I am a local expert for Insight Vacations. And so, as Melinda said, as we start off this afternoon, I have a couple slides that I wanted to dive into regarding Insight Vacations. I don't want to spend too much time on the company itself, but really talk to you about the trip and what you guys can expect when you travel with us. So, I will go ahead and get started. Briefly, I wanted to introduce our parent company, the Travel Corporation, fourth generation family owned business. We've been around for 103 years. We have over 40 brands. So you can rest assured that when you travel with us, we are the experts in the destinations that we're traveling to. Insight Vacations is one of our premium brands under the Travel Corporation. When you travel with us, you're traveling in comfort and style. With all of our motor coaches, we have customized the coaches to add an additional 10 inches or so of legroom, so you get twice the view and twice that legroom. Our drivers do take care of all the logistics while on trip, so you can sit back, relax, and take in the views. Our travel directors are with you from start to finish of your trip, and they are full of knowledge and they want to share the history and hidden gems of the places that we're visiting. With our maximum group size of 40 people, you'll be able to navigate through the destination we're visiting with ease. In addition to our travel directors, we also have our local experts that will join our trips. And these individuals are typically passionate historians, people that are from the areas that we're visiting, and they want to share what's so special and unique about the places that they call home. So let's dive in to Country Roads of Ireland. For this group, we're leaving on May 17th. It is an 11-night tour. And we start in Dublin. So, day one in Dublin is a travel day. Everyone will arrive, and depending on your arrival time, you have time to explore on your own or get settled at the hotel. This evening, we will meet our travel director and fellow travelers at the hotel lobby for a quick meet and greet before we head off to dinner. The next day, after you guys have had a great night's rest, we'll enjoy a full Irish breakfast at our hotel. And that is every single morning. We'll have a full Irish breakfast available to us. This day, we will start our day with a city orientation of Dublin. We'll see Custom House, which was built in 1791 near Ireland's trade tour. The building was destroyed in 1921 by a fire and then it was restored. So we'll hear the history, obviously get to see this beautiful building while we're doing our walk through the city. We'll also visit Christ Church Cathedral and St. Patrick's Cathedral. St. Patrick's Cathedral is over 800 years old and it's the largest cathedral in all of Ireland. Our local expert will, of course, take us through Trinity College on a walking tour. This is where you'll find the old library, which is home to the ancient Book of Kells. It was created by monks and dated back 800 AD. So it's definitely something to see. And then of course you can't go to Dublin without visiting Guinness Storehouse Brewery. So we'll have time to explore Guinness Storehouse Brewery. If you want to learn how to uh, pour the perfect pint, you have the opportunity to do so there. And then the afternoon is on your own, so you can explore as you wish. Perhaps grab lunch at Boxty's restaurant, or sip on an Irish coffee, or visit Temple Bar in search of live music. However, you want to spend your afternoon. The next morning, of course, we're going to wake up to that great Irish breakfast at the hotel. Make sure, though, before you leave your guest room, that you pack and get your luggage prepared. So you'll want to set it outside the door. And this will be every morning that we are switching hotels. The bell staff will grab your luggage while you're eating breakfast. We will put the luggage on the coach. So, one less thing that you guys have to worry about, we'll handle the moving of the luggage to and from the coach for you. After breakfast, we're going to join a member of the famous Irish Stud Farm. So it's a private tour behind the scenes where we get to learn more about these legendary racehorses where they were bred. After, we're strolling through the Japanese gardens there on site, and it's the finest Japanese garden in Europe. They were created between 1906 and 1910 by a master horticulturalist, Tessa Ida, and her son. And then from there, we'll continue to Waterford, which is always a great visit, definitely a highlight for many travelers. And your guide will take you through the House of Waterford Crystal. You'll get to meet an artisan and see their work while there. So it's a great opportunity to kind of live the life of a local for the time that we get to spend with them. And then from there, we are visiting one of the largest castles in Ireland, Cahir. And this is where the film Excalibur was filmed.
And is everything on day three, a journey from Dublin to Cork, or you changing screens, or that's going to be the same one? I just want to make
It's
sure
the
that
same day. Yeah, it's a lot in that day.
it's a lot in
Um,
that day. That's fine. I
it
just wanted to make
is.
sure we went perfect. It is a lot. It's on Waterford and that's perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, though. I appreciate you making sure the technology is working. So yeah, so we have some time there, and then once we get to Cork, our travel director will give us a quick orientation of the city before you guys get to settle in and explore on your own. Oops, so we jumped ahead. Here we go. So then from there, we're going to visit Blarney Castle. And it's said those who kiss the Blarney Stone are blessed with the gift to gab. So you'll have the opportunity to tour the castle, kiss the stone if you wish, or alternatively, you can go to the gardens there, and one of the senior gardeners will take you around so that you can explore the garden with a member of the staff. And I've done both. They're both a great experience, and it's beautiful here. So you do have some time to settle in and really get to explore. From here, we are traveling to one of my favorite places in Ireland, Killarney. Killarney is full of amazing restaurants, shops, of course, pubs, ice cream shops, beautiful hotels, B&Bs, and not to mention Killarney National Park. So my last visit here was in 2019, and Dublin and Killarney were playing in a football match. So the city was vibrant with lots of locals cheering on their team. Sadly, Killarney did not win, but it was fun to get to spend some time with the locals and learn the rules of the game. So I'll tell you, everywhere you go in Ireland, Northern Ireland, the people are beyond friendly. They really want to welcome you. They love having tourism there. So it's always a nice thing when you visit a destination where people are so welcoming. So this evening we are doing what we call our farm to table dining experience, enjoying a Irish home cooked meal in the kitchen of Chef John Sheehan at the 19th Green Guest House. So these types of experiences that we include on trip are always unique because you really do get to live the life of a local for those few hours. You get to hear why they are there doing what they do, what their passion is. Obviously, you're breaking bread with them, so you get to share a meal, and then you get to hear what's so special about the 19th Green Guest House and a little bit more about Chef John and his partner. Ring of Kerry is always a beautiful experience. And before we set off for the Ring of Kerry in the morning, we'll have a couple options on how we want to spend our time. So the jaunting cart in Killarney is a must. It is a horse-drawn carriage ride. Takes you through Killarney National Park, so you can sit back, relax, and take in the sights by horse and buggy. Alternatively, you could join a gentle hike, as we say, with a local expert. So you're passing through Ross Castle. You get to see the sights. There is a little bit of climbing there because you are going to climb up the side of a small waterfall to take in the sights and the views. So you want to make sure that you have good walking shoes or boots. Rain gear, I feel like, is a must anytime you visit Ireland, and of course sunscreen for that optional experience. Once we get to the Ring of Kerry, you'll see why it's a favorite for many guests. It's a beautiful scenic drive, and we may see some small waterfalls. It's always beautiful to see the sea from this drive. And then, of course, you have that picture perfect landscape for pictures and just to kick back and enjoy. The rest of the afternoon is yours. It's leisure time. Perhaps taking the opportunity to hire a bicycle and enjoy one of the many scenic trails around the lake or through the national park. We continue the beautiful coastal drive for a couple hours to Dingle Peninsula. Here, if we do have any Star Wars fans on the call today, here we'll be able to see some of those Star Wars the set locations just north of Slayhead, and also filmed here is the film Ryan's Daughter. And this evening, it's yours to really explore on your own. If your trip to Ireland involves a hunt to find the best crack, which is a Gaelic word for fun, then you'll find it here in Dingle. It's a lively adventure here with things to do. So it's a great Irish town. And you'll know that you found kind of one of those true Irish towns when you have a good ratio of pubs to people. I think they said there's about 38 pubs here. So you'll definitely want to take in some of the sights with the pubs, visit Murphy's Ice Cream, perhaps pop by Dingle Distillery, or just really enjoy the views that you have um, at the hotel that you have this evening. From here, we're joining our local expert at the Cliffs of Moher. It's a beautiful site. I've been here a few times, and every time I go, I feel like I explore a little bit more. When you walk out of the visitor center, it's a 700-foot cliff, and it's just all of this beautiful scenery, no matter which way you're looking. So you can explore further on if you go left or right, if you wanted to take in more of the sites, or you can just relax right there and take in the views. They do have a great gift shop that you would want to explore, especially if you want to get some souvenirs. But from there, we are taking that coastal drive to Galway Bay. And once we arrive here, we'll have a orientation of the city to see Lynch Memorial and Church of St. Nicholas, where Christopher Columbus he prayed before he started or he set off for his voyage to America. So you'll see some of those sites. And then you'll have some time on your own to really settle in and get to enjoy the city. Galway does have some amazing dining options. We found Michelin star restaurants there, obviously fantastic pubs. So whatever you're looking for, you'll find it in Galway. It is a fun Irish town as well. The streets are just flooded with Irish music. Some of the best Irish coffee is here in Galway. So definitely get out and explore if that's what you like to do. You'll find so many interesting things in Galway. This morning, we will take the Aran Ferry across Galway Bay to the Aran Islands, and we get to hear the story of Inishmore from the islands there, so the men that live there, and they'll guide us around the island, give us the history, so show us some of those unique sites. And it's a nice Irish experience. The islands they do speak Gaelic and English as well, and because of its Celtic and Christian heritage, the Aran Islands has an unusually high number of ruins and sacred sites. So you'll get to see some of those too as you're walking through the islands with the local guides there.
And Mandy, I'd like to just let you know that is an exclusive to Travel Central's group in May. Normally that's an optional as offered on Insight Vacations, but we wanted to go there, so we put it as an inclusion. So that's just an FYI, an extra amenity that would not be included on most Insight Vacations.
That's excellent. Yes, thank you for mentioning that. That is an exclusive for this group. So make sure that you do take advantage of this particular group so that you can get those extra exclusives that Travel Central is offering. So on day 9, we are continuing on to County Sligo. We are stopping off to check out some of the beautiful views. There is the churchyard in Drumcliff to visit the final resting place of one of Ireland's famous poets, William Butler Yeats. And then you also get to see the Blue Stack Mountains of Dongle while you're here. And of course, the Irish, as you know, or may not know, but you will definitely know after this trip, they are a nation of storytellers and they love to tell stories. Um, you will meet Rowan. He is one of the best storytellers around, and he's going to share what's unique about the city and some of those hidden gems that are not in the guidebooks. So it's always fun to see a new place with one of our local guides. This evening, we do have dinner with our group, with all of our travelers. So that'll be a nice included meal together there. And then the next morning, we get up and we are off to Giant's Causeway. This is a beautiful experience. It is really unique how this area has formed, and you'll get to hear from our guide there a folklore story of Finn McCool. I know the story, I've heard it, but I don't want to ruin it for you guys. But basically, uh, the way that Giant's Causeway was created is not what they say. Finn McCool is the real storyteller of how this area was created. So you'll get to hear all about that while you're at Giant's Causeway. Definitely take time to settle in, take pictures. It is a beautiful area, and you'll want to pop by the visitor center too while you're there. This evening, you'll enjoy your, obviously, you've made some great friends by now. You'll enjoy new friends and fellow travelers at your final celebration dinner. It's, it'll be old-fashioned hospitality. We'll have amazing food, fantastic wine, and of course, by now, you guys have had some great stories and shared so many unique things together. So, excellent conversation at your farewell dinner. And then on this day, we will continue to Belfast. If you have the opportunity to go on this trip, Belfast is definitely a unique city with so much history, and you'll get to learn all about it when you meet Hilda. Hilda has lived in Belfast in the same house her entire life, and she's excited to share the secrets of the city. She wants to walk you through the area and show you what's unique. One of my favorite things to see when we're in Belfast, besides the Titanic area, of course, the museum, is the all of the art that they have, which we will get to walk through and see the murals that have been painted. But you also get to see the City Hall, Queen's University, the Parliament Building, and much more. So it is a great day there in Belfast, and then of course you'll have some time on your own to explore. Again, here there's fantastic dining, beautiful structures to see, and a lot more crack to be had while in Belfast.
And I would just say, if anyone's Game of Thrones fans, I do know that I'm bringing my grandchild on, and she is going to take a day trip down. Instead of doing what we're doing in Belfast, take a day trip down to the studios of Game of Thrones, which is about an hour outside of Belfast. So,
Oh, very nice. You guys are going to go to Winterfell.
yeah,
Yeah,
wherever she wants.
yeah. That's a great experience. We had the opportunity to do that. Jon Snow, a character that looks like Jon Snow, met our group, got on the coach, and we traveled through to the main area there in Winterfell, where we got to put on cloaks and we shot bow and arrows, did some axe throwing, got to see all the film sites, and then later shared a meal together. So it was a really unique experience, even though I'm not a huge Game of Thrones fan. I should say I haven't seen them. I loved the experience and I thought it was great. So you don't have to be a Throny to enjoy Winterfell. It is a unique thing to do while you're there. And sadly, all good things must come to an end. So on our last day, we do have a departure back to Dublin, which we can do as a group if you are not flying out of this area. If you're flying out of Dublin, which makes the most sense, then we have that transfer available to you. So we'll do that as a group. And this is a great recap of what's included. Melinda, do you want me to go through this or would you like to go through it?
I'll be happy to go through it. It's Melinda again. So what we're doing in May is actually, and again, this trip is available other days. So some people say, oh, May's not good for me. I have graduations, I have different things. So I do want you to know that it is available other days that we can do the same trip. Or you might say, look, I don't want to go with a group. I'd rather go on my own. We can actually do private chauffeured Ireland, as well as do other small groups. So there's lots of ways to do it. I don't want you to think this is the only one, but what this does is if you look at a map, it goes in a complete circle, starts in Belfast, goes south, and goes then around the west coast and then over to Belfast. So it really is a complete circle of the island. It has some really cool highlights. You know, we do want to actually go on into Waterford Crystal for a guided tour. We're doing the Blarney Castle. So I think the Farm to Table Feast in Killarney is really a cool added lanyard event that we get to do. And I just actually had a client in the office who's traveled all over the world, and he was sharing a story that his brought his daughter to Paris, London, and to Ireland. And when she decided to get married, he thought, well, where do you want to, get married? And she said in Ireland. So, I mean, it was that magical to her as a teenager that she couldn't wait to go back and get married there. And she did. So anyway, as you can see, we have 12 nights of hotels, 11 breakfasts, 5 dinners with wine, a professional guide throughout. And then, of course, if you go to the next slide, I'll be joining the group this year, and as well as one of my co-workers, Rose, who's an expert travel advisor. And for any of you who are on the call might know, she just came back from Oktoberfest in Oberammergau with a group that had a fabulous time. So she'll be joining us as well. And then if you look at the next slide, it's really if you haven't been to Ireland, you've been to Italy, this is almost like a shot because Ireland is so much less expensive per person for all the things we just talked about, the 12 nights, the accommodations, the motor coach, the professional guide, the meals, all the sightseeing that's included, and it's $3,500 per person. That's based on 2 people in the room. That does not include air, though we will curate your air. And what we're finding is that if you do want to go, we do want to get you booked soon, not just because we only have 6 spots available, which is true. We have sold out the group. We only have 6 to 8 spots. It might be 8, but the air is really been tough all over Europe for next year. So we definitely recommend let's get that booked as soon as possible. Really right now, a $200 per person holds your land, but that's not your air. And then the balance would be due on March 1st. So you got lots of time to pay this off. One of the things I will say, as I said at the beginning, Travel Central's goal is to be your resource to help you from the planning process all the way to your return home, to really make your travel dreams come true, as well as handle any maybe credits that you have from during the last 2 years when travel was kind of at a standstill. We can handle those for you as well, and be up to date on all the current travel advisories as well as travel, tips and advice, and that's our goal. And with that, I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions. If you do, please put them in the chat box. And then if not, Mandy, if you have anything else to share, please do. And if not, we have recorded this, so you can go back. I know, unfortunately, I just saw somebody chat, they couldn't hear them. I actually know the lady. I'll make sure to send her the recording tomorrow so that she can see the day by day.
That sounds good. I did want to share, it is just so easy to travel to and from Dublin. We do clear customs in Dublin and also in Shannon, which is only one of a few airports internationally that does that. So it saves you time on your way back as well. So it is super easy to travel to Ireland.
Great. And those of us from New Orleans, we probably should enjoy nice, cooler weather in May in Ireland than we would here in New Orleans. So again, thank you for coming. If you have any questions, I will actually be emailing this out to everyone tomorrow, and we look forward to and hope that you can join us in Ireland in May, or if not, whatever's convenient for you, we'd be happy to put a trip together. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.